Welcome to everybody. Thanks for attending the Northeast Tennessee Virginia Home Consortium board meeting. And I guess we need to do a roll call to start out with.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Chairman Chad Keene.
Here.
Sherry Green.
Here.
Amber Torbett.
Here.
Ellen Tolton.
Here.
Stephen Freeman.
Here.
Ken Weems is out of town. Is there anybody on for Ken? And Mayor Wells. Okay.
Okay, Christina, would you tell us and discuss the necessity for conducting the electronic meeting that we are attending right now?
Yeah, I'll be glad to, Chairman. There's a couple of little things to note. This is a little different than it has been in the past. So let's read this. Governor Lee's Executive Order number 16, which has been extended through October 28, 2020 by Executive Order number 60, suspended the provisions of the Open Meetings Act to the extent necessary to allow governing bodies to conduct their essential business by electronic means, rather than being required to gather a quorum of members physically in the same location. One condition of meeting electronically is that if a member of this board or staff attending by audio only, they are asked to identify themselves by name and position when they speak. In order to proceed with meeting electronically, the governing body should make a determination that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. At this time, it would be appropriate for the members to discuss whether they believe that meeting electronically is necessary and vote accordingly. If the members do not agree that meeting electronically is appropriate at this time, then this meeting should be adjourned until such time as the members can meet in person. So, do you guys want to discuss, or do you want to do another roll call, Chairman?
Any discussion? Sounds like everybody's in agreement. Can we do a roll call?
Chairman Chad Keene.
Yes.
Sherry Green.
Yes.
Amber Torbett.
Yes.
Ellen Tolton.
Yes.
Stephen Freeman.
Yes.
Mayor Wells on? No? Okay.
Okay. So I think next on our agenda is approval of the minutes from July 14th. Did we have any corrections?
So Chad, what you'll have to do right now, Chairman, is every time you speak, you'll have to say, "This is Chairman Keene."
I was thinking that that was only if I was not, if my picture was not on. If I was calling in, is that not correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
If your video is on, then you don't have to say your name.
Awesome.
So
Sorry about
Tim should have said right there, this is Tim Beaver speaking, because
Because the video is not on.
okay. So yeah, that's the way our council meetings and other meetings that I've been doing is if your video is on, then you don't have to announce yourself. But any corrections to the minutes from July 14th? Do we need a roll call vote on that, on everything, Christina?
We'll need a motion, a second, and then roll call again.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from July 14th?
This is Amber Torbett. I make a motion to approve our last meeting minutes from July 14th.
Do we have a second?
This is Sherry Green. I'll second that motion.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Chairman Chad Keene.
Yes.
Sherry Green.
Yes.
Amber Torbett.
Yes.
Ellen Tolton.
Yes.
Stephen Freeman.
Yes.
And then Ken Weems and Mayor Wells are still absent. Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is the election of a vice chair. and a secretary. So we'll go with the vice chair. Do we have any nominations for a vice chair?
Chad, do you want to go into some detail about the vacant vice chair?
I think we should, and maybe you also mentioned about the chairmanship as well. So yes.
Okay. In our bylaws, Chairman Keene, or since Bristol, Tennessee is the responsible lead entity, we'll always have a chairman from the council appointed to this. Vice chairman would come in, obviously, if the chairman is not available to run the meeting. And Mark Haga from Kingsport was our vice chair. It had been for the last couple of years. And it's obviously been vacant since he left back in December, January. So also regarding the secretary, I'm happy to be secretary. It says in the bylaws that I'll be it unless somebody else wants to be secretary. So those two positions are open, or I'm happy to do, it's my job to do it too. So it's totally cool. If anybody would like to nominate somebody from the floor for vice or secretary.
This is Amber Torbett. If Ellen is in agreement, I would like to nominate Ellen Tolton to serve as our vice chair.
I was going to nominate you.
Oh,
I'd be happy to.
great. Thank you.
Great. So do we need a motion and a second and a vote?
We do.
Okay, so I take that as the motion that Amber nominated Ellen. Do we have a second on that?
This is Sherry Green. I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any other nominations, I should say?
Nobody.
I would nominate Amber. If she,
Oh boy,
you know.
let's complicate things.
Next,
Thank you. Ellen, I think you would do a great job. I'm chairman of and vice chairman of several other committees, so I think you would be great at it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, having seen no further nominations, we'll need to do a roll call vote, correct, Christina?
Yes, and I'm sorry, guys. Just bear with us. Chairman Chad Keene,
Yes.
Sherry Green,
Yes.
Amber Torbett,
Yes.
Ellen Tolton,
Yes.
Stephen Freeman,
Yes.
okay, and Mayor Wells still not on. Okay, just checking. Okay.
Thank y'all.
Okay, next on our agenda is a report from Bill and Renee on the First Tennessee Development District status of projects. So if we could move into that, please.
Okay, I'd just like to briefly say we appreciate the opportunity to be here and to administer this program. It's been somewhat difficult due to the fact that with the COVID situation and with contractors and material prices and that sort of thing. So we've had some challenges. I think, of course, all of us have had challenges due to this COVID situation, but I'm going to turn it over to Renee and kind of let her talk about the actual projects that we've been working with.
Okay. On your board report that was sent out this morning, the two columns for each community have available what the dollars are for each item, the homeownership portion and the rehab portion. Since the last board report, you will note that the funds have actually, the balance have actually increased for Bristol, Tennessee, Johnson City, and Kingsport, because we did have some payoffs in that. When we have payoffs, those amounts go back into their homeownership funds. We've had two projects, one that we just recently completed, so those will actually again change a little bit next time. For the homeowner rehab side, for Bluff City, I did have pending activities. That amount is their current amount. We have a project that we're getting ready to sign contracts on either this week or next week. So by the next board meeting, hopefully that project will be completed and that amount will be somewhat lower. And then Johnson City, we currently have two projects going on. We completed one of them yesterday. So we'll have a final pay request going out on that. And then we've got another one that's under the, in progress. Currently, for the other communities we have 16 environmental reviews that are under process right now. We're hoping to complete those here in the next week or so. Then we will be getting those projects inspected by our construction manager and work write-ups done on those. In addition to that, we are also working on the CHODO environmental reviews for the Eastern 8 projects, since we've had a change of scope in that project, which we'll be discussing a little bit further into the meeting. We will have to do some updates on that environmental assessment, but we should be wrapping that up here pretty quickly. And then with a project location identified for the People's Inc. project, we will begin on that environmental review as well. So I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions?
You guys, First Tennessee Development District's doing a great job. Look at all these people that we are trying to help right now. Look at that. Is that not crazy how many applications we have? And Renee's reaching out about several more this morning to me. So those of you with CDBG money, get ready.
Yeah, there's a lot of need out there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We've got lists not only for the consortium, but other projects that we're working on as well. It just, unfortunately, there's just a tremendous amount of need in our region.
Anything further? Okay, Christine, it looks like we're going to old business.
Hang on, you guys. I am not good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So if you guys recall, last meeting in July, we talked a lot about People Incorporated and their ability to provide us a project, budget, what they wanted to do with it. And I'm happy to tell you that with some persistency from several of us on this board, we have a great project. You guys should have received the letter from People Incorporated, but basically it is an existing home. They would purchase the property located at 616 Lawrence Avenue, Bristol, Virginia. Basically, they would rehab it, and then it would be affordable housing. It is a single family dwelling. The property, just a little bit about the property, it was built in 1920. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and is 3,400 square feet actually. And it's a very, very nice home. And they have shown here that they can commit to the 25% match, which is what is required with the home program. So their timeline would be property acquisition. They would acquire it by December 1st. They would rehab the activities December 1st through March 1st. And then it would be available for rent March 1st, 2021. Do you guys have any questions about that? We had committed, well, we hadn't technically committed, we had preliminary committed, but we hadn't signed any contracts for anyone up until this point because they didn't have a project for us. Now they have a project. So if you guys like this, I would suggest somebody making a motion to move forward with the proposed acquisition.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So I would love, I know they talked about, you know, the rehab was going to basically be cosmetic because, you know, the house does appear to be in pretty good condition. Can we ask them if they can make that half bath a full bath or add another bathroom or something like that? Is that something we could do?
I'm not sure. Since it's
Okay.
a single family, I mean, really where they be getting the federal money, we would just worry about that Section 503, which is the handicap stuff. I don't know. I mean, we could ask them if they would do it. Maybe they would just nicely do it, but I agree it would make it much better.
Okay, so maybe it's just something I could just say, hey, do you think you could, you know, fit in an extra bathroom or, you know, So a half bath probably doesn't have an extra bath or shower in it. So I guess we could just make that suggestion. It's not a requirement. It's
Right.
just a,
Correct. Yes.
because anybody these days, they said it would be a home for, 4 to 6 people. I just didn't know. I'm sure it's not required, but maybe we could just ask and see.
Sure. And I think it's a great house. It's very.
I think it's a great project. I'm real happy with it. Yeah. And it's good location.
Okay.
How much money are we allocating, Christina?
$152,957.
So they'll get all of that for that one house.
They will, and they will also have to do the 25% match, which is they'll have to come up with just under 40,000. It's like 38 something. So a total project cost will be 191,196, and then they'll be responsible for the rental of that unit, that home, for a qualified renter. But we do not ask for any program income back, which would be like money that comes back to the home program. We allow the Community Housing Development Organization, the CHODO, to keep those funds for future affordable housing projects.
Okay. Right. And you're asking for a motion to approve that allocation.
If you like this project, we need a motion to approve the proposed project.
I make a motion to approve the project.
Okay, do we have a second?
This is Amber. I will second.
Okay, Ellen made the motion, Amber made the second. Any further discussion on the allocation? Having seen none, let's do a roll call vote.
Okay, Chairman King,
Yes.
Sherry Green,
Yes.
Amber Torbett.
Thank you
Amber,
all.
Amber, I need you.
I'm sorry. Yes. I was rereading the letter and
That's okay. Thanks.
toggling my screen. Sorry.
Ellen Tolton.
Yes.
Stephen Freeman.
Yes.
And Mayor Wells still hasn't joined us. Okay.
Okay, rehab and reconstruction.
No, we're still under old business. We're at Eastern 8 now. Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Eastern 8 actually gave us a project back at the first of the year, and we approved a Windsor Avenue duplex rehab in Kingsport. However, since they have had significant trouble with the Kingsport planning department, I was hoping that Ken or someone would be on here to help explain the situation. But basically, it's vacant land right now, and it had been a duplex many years ago. So the city planning department needed a special permit, zoning permit, to allow that to be a duplex again. However, it is a low income area, but the residents in the area decided that they did not want the duplex back, the affordable housing duplex. So they have really fought the city on that, and the city has not granted Eastern 8 permission to build the duplex back. So a single family unit, a single family home is what was there and what has been approved for them to build back. So the only changes for us would be to approve this from the duplex to the single family home. It's in the same location. Renee, Bill, do you guys want to say anything else about that before there's discussion?
It sounds like from everything we've heard from Sherry that there's just been so much pushback about the duplex that they felt like that this was the only avenue that they could take at this point to get the project moving forward. So just what Christina said, and we feel like that this is a viable option based on the factors that have arisen.
So also you guys have that information, but they'll be building a 3-bedroom single family home instead of the 2 units. The Board of Zoning Appeals in Kingsport denied the request for placement of the duplex. Basically, they expect to sign contracts and receive the environmental clearance hopefully in November. Bid out the project by the end of December. They'll start site work construction by the end of January. They plan to complete the unit by the end of June and rent by July 1st. So that's pretty aggressive, but they, of course, in order to receive our funds, would need our approval, the board to approve that they agree with this.
Okay, any further discussion? We'll need a motion, correct, Christina?
Yeah.
Can we get a motion to approve the allocation of, it's $170,699?
Yeah, the allocation and the, you approve the money, but you need to approve the project, which would be from the duplex to the single family home.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the project.
okay, can we get a second?
This is Sherry. I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
One more time. Chairman Chad King,
Yes.
Gary Green,
Yes.
Amber Torbett,
Yes.
Ellen Tolton,
Yes.
Stephen Freeman,
Yes.
and Ken and Mayor Wells are still up. Okay.
Okay, HUD consolidation plan?
So we have submitted everything to HUD, guys. I want to thank Kingsport and Johnson City for their diligence on this. I have not heard anything that it was final approved. We had our draft approved, and a couple of corrections were sent back for a few of us, which we have updated and submitted to them last week. So keep your fingers crossed that that will get approved this week, and we can move on from that. I just wanted to kind of give you an update that still in the process.
Okay. So moving on to new business, Christina?
Okay. So subsidy limits. You guys, as Bill Forrester mentioned earlier, it's been challenging to get projects going because the price of materials has gone up. Contractors are very busy. And basically, we received word that THDA, Tennessee Housing Development Agency, which is the state housing, basically has increased their subsidy limits. And they didn't increase them a whole amount, but they did increase them more than 10%. I think it was about 15%. So what we did, we were able, First Tennessee Development District and myself were able to reach out to our Knoxville HUD field office and requested to see if we could also update our subsidy limits. And subsidy limits is basically what you can spend on a house to build it, okay? We were granted that permission for COVID. So basically, what we've been building is a 3-bedroom, and price was $115,201, and effective, hopefully, if you guys approve this, through 2020 funds, it will go up to $149,761. So I feel like it gives us more opportunity to help people, and the limits, you know, with COVID-19, the construction industry's changed, and we're just going to have to go with it a little bit in order to do our jobs. Y'all also have that letter. Was there any questions? Bill, Renee, do you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, I would like to say that it is, you know, as I mentioned before, and Christina's already said too, it's become increasingly difficult to get contractors to bid on projects. They are busy, but also material prices have gone through the roof due to not only the COVID, but also the hurricanes and the wildfires out in California. So material prices have gone up. We've heard anywhere from, like OSB, for instance, has gone from like $6.95 a sheet all the way up to like 20 some odd dollars a sheet. 2x4s, everything has gone up on a percentage basis. So we basically were begging THDA on our other programs that we work with to change these subsidy limits so that we could bid projects out. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to complete projects. You know, a house that cost $115,000 now is, our last bids came in at like 125, 126. So, you know, we were really struggling and had begged them to do that. So I'm very thankful that Christina reached out to the HUD representative to see if we could do that on the consortium side as well. That's the only way that we would be able to complete these projects. And you see the list of applicants. We really need to get through that list. So I'm hopeful that we can do that.
I have a question. How does that affect, Virginia side reconstruction?
Would it not be the same?
It should be the same, Ellen. I mean,
Okay, I thought,
CDBG, but home will affect anything home dollars on your side of town.
okay.
So we'll need a motion, a second, and another roll call, Chairman.
Okay, we need a motion.
I make a motion to approve the increasing the subsidy limits.
Do we have a second?
This is Sherry. I'll second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion? I will mention one other thing before we take the vote, that I did talk with a couple of construction contractors, and they shut down the mills, the lumber mills, for about 2 months for COVID. So their expectations is sometime next year that lumber prices will come down.
Good.
So I don't know how that affects currently, if our subsidy limits, that have increased will stay there or not. But that's a question I have, but moving forward, just keep that in mind.
In the letter, Chad,
Yeah.
it says that we will re-look at the limits at the end of this term.
Okay, good deal. Okay, roll call vote.
Chairman King,
Yes.
Terry Green,
Yes.
Amber Torbett,
Yes.
Ellen Tolton,
Yes.
Stephen Freeman.
Yes.
Okay. Ken and Mayor Wells, nobody, correct? Thank you.
Okay, next is the 2019 CAPER report.
Okay, so we don't actually have a draft CAPER for me to give to you guys because the CAPER is in conjunction with our community development block grant as entitlement communities. And I'm happy to tell you that we received more money through the round 3 of CDBG CV funds. But we have to now, as entitlement communities, we have to go back, and that's Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee, Kingsport, and Johnson City. We have to go back and amend our amendment before, Stephen, I see your face. We amend our amendment again. Go back to council with this round 3 funds, which nobody was expecting the entitlement communities to receive. Bristol, Tennessee, we received more this 3rd round than we did the 1st, which is kind of confusing, but we'll go with it and figure out what we're going to do with the funds before we can actually close out the 2019 year with our CAPER. So I'm sorry, it's a little confusing. Please bear with us, but I did want to tell you, Renee has gotten me the information on what the consortium has done. And in 2019 year, home ownerships, we had 9 throughout the consortium area, and rehab reconstructions, we had 7 throughout the area. So I think that was pretty good considering everything that was going on. So Thank you. We don't need to approve anything at this point. Just
Okay.
wanted to give you an update.
So any announcements or updates before we adjourn?
I have one question. Christine, are you going to notify People Incorporated? And I guess Eastern 8?
Yes, we'll send out an official like letter that it was approved in the board.
Okay.
And I'll CC you on that because it'll be obviously via email.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, anything further? So our next meeting is January 12th of next year, believe it or not. And I guess we will play it by ear whether we'll be meeting in person or by Zoom. Anybody have anything further before we adjourn? Okay, we are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Stay safe.